Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching Jobu's Day Job. Um, I have been on a 9 year journey. 9 years ago, we ended up getting a house that should not be here. And it was all by happenstance. And I think I finally realized the purpose. See, life is crazy because things happen, and if things don't line up, you don't know what might have been. This house, which has become an integral part of my life, it's been consuming of my life, as well as quite a few others, should not be here any longer. I did. I woke up one morning and I did something that I normally don't do 9 years ago. I turned on the news and they were talking about Grow Waynesboro, where they had grant money that they were going to give to entrepreneurs to help them grow their business. And I signed up for it. I went through the program. I did my presentation. Everybody said it was incredible because I was talking about saving and preserving old homes, because I had bought houses that nobody else wanted, and instead of tearing them down, I fixed them and made them into, I was flipping them, or I turned them into rental properties. And I didn't win anything. But I met a guy named Ian, and Ian said, "You're the guy that we've been looking for." And he brought me right over here to this corner of the house, and I saw it and immediately fell in love with it, and found out that this house was owned by the city and was set to be destroyed, and knew nothing about it. I'd never seen it before, and the wheels started turning where I just didn't want to see it knocked down. I had no designs on wanting to own this house, much less rebuild it. I was just saying, it's a travesty to let go of history, and that the history, it doesn't have to be that everything has to be new. And finding out the amount of history that this place has is unbelievable. We're still uncovering even more and more. And so I'm sitting out here this morning. I got up, took the trash out, and I work on this thing harder than I probably work on anything else. And I was just sitting here. It's kind of cloudy and overcast because we're working on cleaning the land over there, and I can see the cemetery that's from 1798. In fact, I can almost see, if I lean a little this way, that headstone that you see right there is Mary and David. Mary and David Bush owned basically this huge farm that went about 2 miles that way, and they sold 4.5 acres of the land to a War of 1812 veteran, William Brown, who built this to be the first school, as well as the Masons Lodge. The city got it in the 50s, and because it was going to have, the main street was going to be coming on one side or the other, and they may needed to own the property and destroy it because the main road was going. Turns out the main street ended up being down over, and they used it as a rental property, and it got disrepaired to the point where the building inspector said it's condemned. They had signed a contract to have it be destroyed. In fact, when I talked to the city manager, he said it's too late. Nothing can be done. Did a change.org and got the wheels in gear, spoke to the city council, and the next thing I know, we own it. But I realized something, because we finished the inside of the house first, of course, and it took us 6 years to get the building permits for it, getting the place fixed. But I've been doing things like the water garden over here we just did yesterday, and the hibiscus plants around the telephone pole and on the corner, because we're on the corner of two streets. We built a flower bed that's over there with some wildflowers and things, and I've been working on the gutters and just trying to make it look really beautiful outside, and cleaning up over here around the cemetery out of respect for those who are no longer with us. And I realize why it's important to me for this, for a multitude of reasons. For the people who live behind here, I want them to be able to look over and say, hey, it looks like a park or something beautiful to look at. And I realize that when people slow up and tell me how beautiful it is, and when people are at Walmart and they walk out and they look across the street and they see the house, that it's a good feeling, not just for me, but for the community. And it's a way of kind of saying that everything doesn't have to be destroyed. That there's beauty that can be saved. You know, there's a brand new house or duplex that's going to be built right over there behind us. And it'll be nice. I'm sure it'll be nice. But losing where you came from, the roots of where everything started. I always believe if you don't know where you came from, then you certainly don't know where you're going. And I want this place to be a beacon of the past married with the future. And I want it to always be here, even after I'm gone. And so it's nice to slow down for a moment, to listen to the water. I'm watching the birds and the eating, and the squirrel and the eating, taking the bird food, and just enjoying. Because normally I'm working. I'm just working and working and working and working and finding more and more things to do. And the final thing I'll say here is, what you realize is you are just a caretaker. I own it, me and my wife. This is true. But so did Mary and David over there. We're just taking care of it till the next generation. But I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here. I appreciate you guys watching. And thank you for all the wonderful comments and the words of encouragement, because that's what drives me to continue to do more. Have a great day.